So this is purpose of this is really to talk about what ATD is all about. You'll meet some of the board. We'll go through our agenda here. So we'll introduce some of the chapter, meet the board. I'll go ahead and talk about membership. Mark, who's on the call on our board, will talk about programs, gigs, and SIGs, and he'll tell you what all that stands for as well. Aubrey, our president, is going to talk about 2026, what we've done so far for a year to date. And then Eleanor will go into marketing communications, talk a little bit about our sponsors. And I'll turn it over to Scott, who's also our producer. Thank you for producing, Scott. And he'll talk about volunteering. And then at the end, we have a little breakout session for everybody. We'll do a breakout session to do some networking. And we have a quick Q2 topic question to go through as well. So jumping right into it, here's our board of directors for 2026. I just can't believe it. I was saying to Scott earlier, can't believe it. We're halfway through 2026 already. So our goal today is really, like I said, to share about the Greater Philadelphia chapter of ATD. So use the chat, introduce yourself, ask questions throughout. You can pop in or pop questions in the chat. Feel free to share your LinkedIn profile as well. You'll see some of our board members have their QR code for their LinkedIn to easily connect with us as well. So I'll go ahead and I'll start with Aubrey since you're the first one there, and we will go through the board members who are here tonight.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Aubrey Nooney, and I am this year's president. This is my second year being part of the board. Last year, I was president-elect, and I'm just so proud of this board and everything that we're contributing to this chapter this year. A little bit about me during the day. I am a leader of learning and development, knowledge management, and change management with WSFS Bank, so WSFS Bank. And then by night and sometimes during the day, I spend some time working on presidential duties for this chapter. So glad to have you all with us. Some of you I've met, some of you I've yet to meet, so glad to have you here.
Okay, did Liz join us?
Yes, I am here.
Awesome.
Welcome, everybody. So glad you could join us tonight. ATD has been an integral part of my professional career and professional development. I've been a member for a long time. This year, I have the pleasure of being the president-elect, so I'll step in for Aubrey next year. And it's been an excellent partnership with Aubrey and also Adam, who will go next as our past president. Really kind of getting me ready to take on that role. And we just want to make sure that ATD and the Greater Philly chapter really provides our audience and our members with the key content and events and networking that they want. So we are really excited to hear from you and what you're looking for. And we'll go from there. And during the day, I am also an instructional designer working for a health tech company right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. Is Adam on the call? I don't think he was able to join. I don't see his name.
I don't see him.
Okay, and I know Sean wasn't going to make it. I don't think I actually introduced myself. So hello, if you don't know me, my name is Jim King. I'm the VP of Membership. I've actually only been a part of ATD a little over a year here. Last 10 years spent in human resources. Started as a recruiter and then worked my way into HR ops and HR generalist. I've really functioned as a generalist for the past 9-10 years, but looking to actually transition into a business development and sales type role. So more of that to come. If we have some side conversations, we'll tell you all about it. But I will pass it over to Mark Spool.
Hi. So I'm the past president and of the chapter. I've been a member for a long time. I'm currently the vice president of special interest groups and geographic interest groups. And within this special interest groups, I lead the leadership in OD SIG. So special interest groups, we have the leadership in OD SIG, and we also have career management SIG. With gigs, geographic interest groups, we cover a very big footprint. And it's not always possible for someone to make it to various locations. So we started up having geographic interest groups. Anyone could go, but we cover as far north as Lehigh Valley, as far south as Delaware. We go east towards South Jersey. We're starting up the Center City gig. We have a Delco, King of Prussia, Westchester, and a Bucks County gig. So the second half of this year, by the way, we're going to be doing a lot of socials. We may be combining some gigs. And during the day and even night. I do a lot of volunteer work for our chapter and for other things like the HR Department of Year Awards, but I also do executive coaching.
Go ahead, Scott.
All right. Hi, I'm Scott Rutherford, VP of Volunteers for the chapter. Been part of the chapter now for a few years. I started off as a volunteer working with Eleanor Meals, who you'll hear from in a second. But Eleanor, I think it was as the glue that holds a lot of what we do together in terms of making sure that everyone knows, well, oftentimes introducing the left hand what the right hand is doing, but it all works anyway. But my role is head of volunteers is basically to act as kind of a concierge / matchmaker, which is to say, everyone approaches their participation in organization like this for different reasons and with different skills, and your circumstances are different. So what I try to do is make myself available as a resource to say, well, if your interest in being a part of the chapter is networking and education, going to events, that's fine. We don't want to dissuade you from that at all. But if you want to volunteer, you want to participate in one of our task forces or groups within the chapter, we'd love to have you. And we'd love to have people who want to step up and take leadership roles as well. So there's definitely a succession. There's a path forward for anyone who wants to be a director or a VP, member of the board, even a chapter president in a year or so. There are certainly pathways for that. And if I can answer any questions about any of that, feel free to ask, and I'd be happy to help.
Thanks, Scott. Go ahead, Eleanor.
Okay, it's great to be here, member, long time. It's a great board that works together. We cover each other's hats. We work as a operating board. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out to any one of us, as we need teams under us, as Scott just said, people to do the work and then people to strategically plan with us. So we're welcome to have you engaged. You're our customers. You get communications from us, hopefully far enough in advance so that you can put our events on your calendar. We put out a quarterly newsletter. We send flyers. The system, the W Apricot system, will automatically send you a confirmation when you register. So we try to make it as easy and as simple and as clean for us. If you have ideas, feel free, reach out to me from a marketing perspective. We have a YouTube channel where we interview our speakers. Welcome to have an interview there. We spotlight in our newsletter. So we try to use the different channels, and our LinkedIn group is growing with people. You do need to apply, and Georgiette Nicolades will approve you, and then you can be in the ATD Greater Philadelphia LinkedIn group. I also find it very helpful to be a power member or a national member, which has a great outreach. I believe there's 120 chapters and there's all kinds of resources. So it's a great Philly chapter. And as someone said, it goes from South Jersey all the way down into all of Delaware, all the way up to Lehigh Valley and out to Central PA. So it's a big footprint. Always looking for sponsors to help us grow. If you have any company that you work for or know that aligns well with this, please follow back up with me. I'd be happy to reach out to them. I love cold call selling. I love to be able to say this is an organization that's growing as it is under this leadership, and sponsors help make the budget look good. And we having great events this year. We just had the MEA workshop with Patty. It was terrific. We've got the September 15th, and this will all come up, big conference. And at the end of the year, I'm sure Mark will tell you more. So we're stepping it up, and we hope you want to, go on the ride with us. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good thing Eleanor's our marketing, because she said us everything, but it's good to say it a couple times.
You can tell she's in charge of communications.
Communications. There we go.
And I'll be happy to recruit you to the marketing team and any other team that you're interested in.
For now that it's 7:00.
Thank you.
All right, so that's some of our board. Jeremy, who's our finance guru, who's been around a while. Jeremy, I don't think Jeremy's on the call tonight, right?
Not tonight.
Okay, and then Jillian, we're lucky enough to have Jillian. She is one of our board members who does a lot of our administrative work and the behind the scenes work. So we would not be able to function without her either. So, okay, so first, what does the Greater Philadelphia chapter of ATD do? So first, ATD, we are Association for Talent Development. I'll go into on the next slide a little bit about how long we've been around and how we span. Eleanor touched on that a little bit, but first we do two things together. We learn together and we build new connections. So we offer learning programs, networking opportunities. Aubrey is going to talk a little bit about our numbers later, but we actually are just over 300 members again. I think we're up to about 308, 310. So we're growing, and we are looking to be, our mission all the time is to be the preferred source in our region for talent development professionals. So when anyone asks me about, who makes up ATD, we are HR professionals, we're talent development professionals, talent management, consultants, coaches, but everyone can join as well. So yeah, we're just over 300 members, and we exist to help you build your connections and really kind of learn from each other and grow with each other with all the events that we offer in our programs, which we'll talk about a little bit more too. So who should join? I just said everyone can join. We offer chapter memberships to all talent development professionals. So we have discount rates as well for students, professionals in transition, members of other ATD chapters, and then for national members as well. So we focus on our region, which Eleanor mentioned. So we are Greater Philadelphia. So that includes all of Lehigh Valley, Bucks County, into Delaware, and into South Jersey as well. We were first established in 1978, so we're almost 50 years. So we're one of the largest chapters of the International Association for Talent Development, or ATD. So really cool to be represented in Greater Philly as one of the largest chapters. I think Aubrey, correct? I think I always remember. Is it Atlanta? Is it Atlanta that's over 400? They're one of the biggest.
Atlanta and Central Iowa.
In Central Iowa. Okay. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about that as well when we get to Aubrey. All right, so power membership. So when you join both ATD National and your local chapter, everyone's like, what is a power membership? Power membership, it means you're a part of the ATD Greater Philadelphia chapter and you're a part of the national chapter. You save $30 on the cost of your national membership, and all these resources that you see here, you gain access to when you are a national member or a power member and a part of the national resources. So TD at Work guides, micro courses, the Talent Development Magazine. There's all different tools and checklists and templates to really kind of help you in your day jobs as well. Okay, so our chip code 20 is 2021. So if you need to, that's the chapter incentive program. When you use the code, a portion of the money that you spend on ATD National comes back to help support your local chapter. So that's our code. When you go and become a power member, you'll just enter in that code. It's 2021. It's not a year. It is our chip code. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Mark. He's going to talk about our programs.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
One of the things that we're really proud of is all the offerings that we have for people. And there are 4 categories. There's the chapter meeting, which typically is the second week of the month, and that'll be virtual. We have the 2 special interest groups that I mentioned earlier to you, and usually we meet about twice or 3 times each. That would be the Leadership and Organization Development SIG, as well as the Career Management SIG. We have the Geographic Interest Groups, which I mentioned, and also the 4th Wednesday of the month, we belong to a group of other chapters, and we refer to ourselves as the Regional ATD Chapter, and we have a webinar, and these are national speakers. And so pretty much about 3 to 4 programs that you could attend either in person or virtually each month. Of course, you don't have to, but the offering is there, and I think that speaks well about our value proposition. Yeah, so you can see all the different chapters there, and the topics vary, but these are great speakers, and they come from all over. And we each chapter takes one of the months. Usually ours is in January, and we provide a speaker. But there's a whole host of different topics that we cover. Well, I guess you could say that. All right, if you want me to cover this one as well.
Yeah, certification credits, and then we'll talk about our upcoming programs too.
All right, so people who are applying towards or have the credit, the certification from ATD, APT, APTD, and CPTD. Either one applying towards or has it can get credits for our programs. And there's information on the website for each one of our meetings on that. And the upcoming one, so the career management SIG, we have Mike Brenner, who's going to be, and this is virtual, on July 22nd, and it's going to be in the evening, and it's the, EQ, emotional quotient advantage. And it's really about navigating in your career and talent development. One of the things that we're going to be doing is, well, this will be kind of like the first time in a long time we're going to have a conference, or chapter is going to have a conference. It's going to be a great one. Put it on your calendar. It's all day for September 15th, and that would be on a Tuesday. More information will be coming out soon, but we're going to have a variety of speakers, topics, a panel at the end, a nice happy hour afterwards, a lot of giveaways, and sponsor tables so that you get learning about different organizations and freebies. And there'll be a nice lunch as well. It'll be held at the end of Villanova. And we're partnering with Villanova University on this. Again, more information to come out real soon on this.
All right, so I guess that's over to me next. So apologies in advance. I am cat sitting for my aunt's geriatric cat, and she has decided that she needs to be fed again, and she will not stop screaming. So if you hear a weird noise in the background, hey, you know what? Life, it happens. So I just want to, again, thank you all for being on the call tonight. Again, some of you I've met, some of you I've yet to meet. And Sarah, thank you so much for hosting us last week at that wonderful event with Patty Phillips from the ROI Institute at your facilities at MEA. We really appreciated that. But, just a little bit about where we're at year to date. So, halfway through my presidency, when I first stepped into the role, I really wanted to, kind of set the tone, and the theme is around, engagement. And so a word that I keep hearing, a lot about as I, network and connect with others is, there's a sense of energy that's kind of growing within the chapter. It's, we had a great foundation. We're just kind of elevating our game, essentially this year. So we just clicked over, Jim. I'm so happy that Jim King is in the role that he's in, because he's doing a fabulous job at it. And also he's just a really, really great person to work with on this board. But he set a goal of 300 active members. And I think we set that goal to be about halfway through the year. Well, hey, come April, we already crossed over into that. And he is just networking like a champ. I call him our chief networking officer, because anytime we get a referral or someone new kind of finds us, then Jim goes and, has some introductory conversations with those individuals, just to share a little bit more about very similar information to what you're hearing this evening. So we clicked over 308 active members. So we've added 28 new members to our ranks. And as Jim mentioned before, they're a mixture of people that are in transition using our discounted rate for this year. It's a mixture of students. I have a call tomorrow with someone who recently graduated from a local university looking to get involved, in the chapter as part of her professional, career journey, and all sorts of different, folks in the mix. One of the things that I hear a lot about is, the interest is because ATD is broad in terms of talent development. It doesn't kind of exclude, practitioners in different areas. It's a very inclusive experience. So again, love the fact that we clicked over 300 early in the year. That makes us a large chapter in the country, not just because of our territory, but our active membership. And then that includes the 189 power members. And I know we've got a couple on the line here tonight. And that, again, includes your national membership with ATD and your local. I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to that don't even realize that, there are these local chapters that exist. So it's really up to us to do a great job of our marketing and engagement efforts to ensure people know what's happening. We are in the, I should say, we were planning is in the early stages, and I shouldn't say it, for a possible, actually, we just put ink on paper. We do have an in-person conference coming up on September 15th. And year to date, we've hosted 19 virtual and in-person events for a total of 229 attendees. So even though we've got 308 active members, we have folks that haven't attended events. And so we are constantly looking at the quality of our offerings and making sure that we have a variety of in-person and virtual, and also looking at just our big expansive geography to make sure that we've got things covered. And that's where those geographic interest groups really play a key role. And so, yeah, 229 attendees, not counting tonight. I think that data was even before we had the final head counts for our event last week with Patty. So we're definitely toppling over, the 230 mark for us. So really what we have coming up throughout the rest of the year, we are continuing with our engagement efforts. We want to connect, we want to grow, we want to know what you want to learn about. Jim and I have been having some conversations around what can we do to help support early career, because I think we've got a variety of different topics, but sometimes we need to also look at focusing on some of the foundational items. So we're open to ideas, feedback. If you are interested in maybe being a featured speaker, either live on a webinar like I was earlier this year. I did a session on LinkedIn, which is a passion area of mine. And I had a great time kind of checking that off my bucket list that I've been an ATD chapter featured speaker. If you are interested in doing an in-person event or being a virtual speaker, we do have information on our website, ATDPHL, if you want to check us out and then look at the process there. But we're also, as Scott mentioned before, we are actively seeking volunteers to support all sorts of different aspects of the chapter. For me, I'm the president this year. I'm really, really proud of that. And even though I may be an SVP at a bank, I haven't been president of anything since my high school choir. So being part of this board allowed me to take the opportunity to learn and grow as a leader, and be a part of this wonderful, vibrant community. But it was also a safe space to learn. And so if you're interested in getting involved and giving back, fantastic. Chances are there's a place that we could leverage you for. And then who knows if, maybe board leadership, roles are something of interest to you, which they were to me a couple of years ago, which is part of the reason why I decided to take on this opportunity and also give back to a great organization. This could be the path for you. So, we are asking for volunteers for our upcoming conference, membership, sponsorship, whatever it is, whatever you have an interest in or expertise, or maybe not expertise. This is a chance to connect and learn and grow. So thank you.
Okay, take it away, Eleanor.
Okay.
Thanks, Aubrey.
Thank you so much. As I said, this is a team where we support each other and wear many hats. So the Marketing and Communications has a team, and we want to keep you informed. We want to keep you connected. As I said, the newsletter goes out hopefully once a month, but right now it's been once a quarter. We could have anybody that wants to work on that, please email me, call me immediately. We have the invitations that go out from the system, the flyers, you're confirmed. Social media right now is just at the LinkedIn and the YouTube level, but if you have a skill or you'd like to learn a skill, as Aubrey just said, this is a good place to work together to do that. We're always looking for support, creativity, and interest in the team. Thanks you. Sammy does a lot of work on it, and he says, hey, let's get a bigger team. And I say, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it together. So if you have any interest, feel free. If we're sending you too many communications, send me the good, the bad, and the ugly communications also. If you prefer them in a different format, if you have another idea, we're very open as a team. We just want to make sure that you know the right place, right time, and that you can participate in the group, because it's a very reasonably priced organization. It's easy to market it because we're not talking about a couple $100 to join this group, depending on where you are in your place in life. If you're in transition versus a student versus a professional, or there's a corporate, there's different ways of joining the organization, all listed on the website, which our webmaster, Jim Holton, does a terrific job. Our sponsors help us pay the bills and help us grow together. Current sponsors are Training Pros. They sponsor about 20 chapters, and they tell me every time I talk to them, our chapter is just like top of their list. They enjoy our programs, they enjoy our speakers, and I don't have to call them up to renew their contract. They call me up and say, hey, I'm signing up for another year. So that to me is a testimony that we're doing the right thing for the right sponsors. But if you work for a company that would like to sponsor, or you know someone that aligns well with what we're doing, please feel free, make the introduction. And as I said, I love cold calls. I love long-term relationships. I like to return. The sponsors to me are just like retaining members. They're part of our fiber. Our prior president, Adam Stam, is Center for Internal Change, and they do a lot of webinars that we post, and they invite us to a lot of their events and a lot of their actions that they're doing as they're going forward. And we always have a lot of events at the Judge Group. the judge has been a terrific partner and sponsor. So we want to reach out to the community, and we want our sponsors to feel that they are part of our growth. So if you know someone that you think would be an alignment, feel free to give them my name, and I'll be happy to make that contact and see where it grows. So I appreciate it, because I know a lot of you have companies that possibly could be local sponsors. So we would love that. And if it's not local, that's also something that we can handle at the power level. So feel free to reach out to me and have that conversation. And if we can do anything to help you, our job as a board member, we feel, is to make sure that our customers are happy. You are our customers, so feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Eleanor. I'll jump in because while we're talking about volunteers, actually, I'm going to piggyback on something Eleanor was saying, because I think if you're a local business, you can be a sponsor. You could also have a conference room that you might want to donate to us to use for a chapter program. Just wanted to drop that note, because we are always looking for a room that we can put 30 or 50 people in and have a conference program, and we want to be close to the membership. So if you have a space, I think we'd be very happy to hear about it. But onto the topic of my slide. As everyone has said, we are a volunteer chapter. All of us are doing this for a variety of reasons, but we're all volunteers. And one of the things that the chapter does, somewhat formally and informally, is succession planning, continuity planning, building a bench. We do that very, very formally. And obviously, in the role of president, as you've seen, we have a president-elect who spends a year basically shadowing and supporting the current president, and then we have past presidents, who is another documented official role to support the current president. So we have, in every year, we have 3 people who are either going to be the chapter leader or who have been the chapter leader. And then we have Mark, who has been the chapter leader and everything else. I'm joking, Mark, but he's also been a tremendous resource as a past president and a member of the chapter for a long time. But so we have that formal structure at the top, but we also have it somewhat less obviously at every single functional level. So we want to make sure that Eleanor has a marketing and communications team, including people who may someday want to step up into that role. The same for my role, the same for programs, the same for membership, and so on. Because it's really, we don't want to have to be reinventing the wheel every year or every 2 years when we come up to an election. So it's really important to the chapter, as we try to build momentum and continuity, to have folks who are connected to the functions and are ready to step into that role if and when it appeals to them. So with that said, if there's any way I can help answer questions or sort of guide you into an assignment, obviously any of the members of the board here tonight would be happy to talk to you directly. If you're not sure where to begin, well, start with me and I'd be happy to connect you with the right person. So, but we're happy to have you. I'm going to drop in the chat a link to the volunteer page on the website and also my email address. You can also scan the QR code on the slide for any of us, and that'll connect you to us on LinkedIn. But be happy to talk more about that if you're so interested.
Scott, this is Eleanor. Can I make a comment?
Absolutely.
Since we're a nonprofit and looking for volunteers, you can tell us how much volunteer time you want to do on a weekly or monthly basis. I have people call up and say, hey, I can give you 10 hours for the year. Well, then great. Scott can make that kind of match. So don't feel that you have to take on the whole enchilada. You can take a piece of it, feel if it's the right match or not, and maybe broaden some skill that you don't have. Go into an area where you might want to work, eventually in your career. This is a good place to start that process. So feel free to reach out to Scott, and he makes a good match and introduction to the different teams. Thank you, Scott.
All right. Thanks, Eleanor.
Thanks, Scott and Eleanor. Thank you, everyone. So our last slide, and maybe our pizza topic will help everybody kind of break the ice a little bit. But before I get to that, and before we break out into small groups, I am going to send out anyone who's attended, not only attended tonight, but also those who have registered for this event. I'll send out a deck to everyone. It's just a few slides. It's kind of like this, but condensed a little bit and just ATD member info. So you're more than welcome to share that with anyone you know that's interested in joining too. So I'll send that via email by, let's just say by the end of the day tomorrow. Send that to everyone via email. So yes, we were talking about pizza early on in the night. If you were here in the beginning of the top of the call, I heard about the Inside Out, Venice Pizza, Bricco Pizza. I don't know about all of you, but that's those are some places I'm going to be going now that people have put that in the chat. So thank you. So hopefully that helps you break the ice a little bit about getting to know each other. So in a moment, Scott's going to put us into some small breakout groups. We'll spend 15 minutes. There'll be a timer to let you know when you're coming back to the call, and we'll talk about our Q2 topic, what you've come up with. So introduce yourself. Talk about if you're a member, how long with ATD, where are you joining from, and share a little bit about yourself, your role, your interests. And then what we really want you to come back with is our Q2 topic question is what are some of the best professional resources you've discovered so far this year? So that can be any tools, resources, anything on a website, any conferences that you've attended. We really want to share the learning and share the wealth, right? So that's our question. What are some of the best professional resources you've discovered so far this year? I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat. If someone wants to take it down, we can maybe have a spokesperson for each group. So we have 20 participants. Scott, what are you thinking for breakout groups?
Let's do 3 rooms, which will be 6 or 7 per room.
Okay, perfect.
Anything with like your IT team or your training team that like looks at anything functional, even how to, what are the steps to go in and work on your performance review or your mid-year. So Scribe is a great tool. And then I would say also adding in Canvet has an AI component to it. Articulate has a new AI component that we just got approved and we're starting to use. So those are 3 of my favorite things. But we heard about something called Yoodly, Yoodli, which thank you very much. Like that sounds like an interesting tool that we could possibly look at that might, provide some different layers of kind of AI role play conversation, with an AI coach. We also heard about Toastmasters. Power which is a networking organization targeted towards women. We have Deborah on the call who is here to improve her English from Brazil. Yay, Deborah. And she actually said this group is one of her favorite things to help with her development for this year. So thank you for the call out there. And then we also had a call out on LinkedIn Live, questioning the future of LinkedIn learning and usage in organizations, and then also SHRM and HRCI certifications in education. So those are some of our favorite things, our favorite resources so far this year.
Great. Thanks, Aubrey. Whoever was room 2, if you don't know the number of it, it's totally okay. Whoever our 2 scribes were from, so whoever wants to jump in.
We got Bunny.
Awesome. Go
Thanks,
for it.
I wasn't sure what room we were in.
Go for it, Bunny.
So we have some resources, but we also have some information that we talked about as a group where we expand our skills and learn new tools within some of the sessions that some of us have attended. We think that it's great for networking. Lots of kudos that we had on the call earlier about the event last week at MEA. Something Jeremy said too, I thought was interesting. Topics are always helpful because they bring information and they always touch on working with people, which is what we all do on a regular basis. So it's always helpful to listen and hear those topics. AI tools, we talked a lot about that and how helpful they are as resources, and just learning different aspects of different AI tools from different people is always helpful. We talked about something called the Training Magazine Network. Some of that access is free. Talked about that a little bit. Eleanor mentioned Larry, Dale Carney. There's some free workshops there. And then why not spottit.com? I thought that was kind of interesting. Trying to remember who talked about that.
Tara.
Thank you. Did you want to talk a little bit about that and just kind of share that with the group? I think you had a lot of great information to share on that. Please.
Yeah, so why not Spot? It helps helps work yourself down when you have a triggering situation. So last week, my client texted me. He likes to text, and he goes, "Do you have a minute?" And that's all he said. And of course, 2 hours went by before I heard from him. So my stomach dropped into my belly, like, what's the matter, right? Of course, once I got on, nothing's wrong. He just wanted to plan some things. But Spotted is the tool that will help you in those situations. So it's an app. If you use it on your phone, it's whynotspotted.com. I'll put it and you can download the app for free. The basic version is free. You can do more and do live meetups and stuff like that for $10 a month, but the basic work is free, and you work down the situation. So you put in the situation, and it helps you take your fearful thoughts and replace them with more secure and balanced thoughts. It's CBT, but in an actual practical way. I'll put it in the chat.
Thanks, Tara.
All right. Well, I think I was in the last group, and I'll do a really quick summary. There were a couple of crossovers. We also talked about the Training Magazine Network. Mark Spool had shared the Harvard Business Review has a couple resources, free emails, the tip of the day, and a daily alert that give you access to resources there. Jimmy talked about the Harvard Business Review Manager Essentials Toolkit. So that's a recommendation there. Emily Morgan's book, Let It Go, which is published through ATD. Also, because Emily's on the call, so I'll just give a shout out to Emily. But so get her book. Let's see, other resources, LinkedIn Learning, we talked about, Project Management Institute, we talked about, as well as L&D Collective. So I think we had some crossover on a few points there.
So thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Our next one is going to be reach out to us with questions, ideas. As we've all mentioned, open to feedback. More than welcome to jump on a call and talk about membership, or any one of the board members can talk to you about ATD. I'll be sending out the information to everyone as well. But yeah, thank you. Our next one will be, we do these quarterly, so our next one will be the end of September, and then we're hoping to have a little bit more of a social type event. More details to come. We're hoping to talk about it more in our board meeting next week at the end of the year. So we'll have one in September, probably around this date, the third Monday usually we try and do, and then in December. So thanks everyone again. Board members will hang around for a couple minutes if you want to hang around and chat. Otherwise, have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Thanks,
for
everybody.
coming.
And bring a friend when you come. Bring a friend.
Thanks, everyone.